Welcome back to our AI in Action Building with Copilot Studio series. Cloud flows are a great way to extend the capabilities of your Copilot. By adding a cloud flow to your topic, your users gain the ability to interact with common apps and services using natural language. A standard example would be a user asking for the weather, and a dedicated weather topic is triggered to call an action that interacts with a weather service. In this video, I'll be showing you how to add a cloud flow to your topic that interacts with Dataverse to save information retrieved from a user. This is the Book a Salon Appointment topic created in the previous episode of the series, Author Topics Using Natural Language. Upon a user's appointment request, the topic then asks what the person's name is, the email, the service they would like to have, date and time of the booking, and then finally, a summary message is displayed for the user. Let's extend this topic to save the information gathered into Dataverse. So in the topic, just before the message summary node, I'll click Add Node and then select Call an Action. Since our cloud flow does not exist yet, let's click Create a Flow to launch Power Automate to create one. Once launched, you can move the flow by clicking the space around it and moving it to your desired location. Flows that work with Copilot Studio require the Run a Flow from Copilot trigger as well as the Respond to Copilot action. These are added for you automatically. Our first step is to add inputs parameters, which will be configured in the topic. I'll select the trigger, and under parameters, select Add an Input. I'll choose the text type and name this parameter full name. I'll do the same for the other parameters as well, making sure that I select the correct types for each of the parameters. With that complete, I'll close this panel, select Add an Action, and search for Dataverse. This brings up the Dataverse connector where I'll select See More and look for the Add a New Row action. For table name, I'll search for the Salon Appointments Dataverse table that I created to store customer appointments. Once all required fields have been loaded onto the screen, we can then add the parameters from the trigger node, which will in turn come from the topic. To add a parameter, I'll click into the field, select the dynamic content icon, then select the corresponding parameter. I'll do the same for the others as well. The Hairstyle Dataverse field will be under the Show All button, for this is not a required field like the rest. Remember, hairstyle is only needed if a user selects the hair service type. Now visible, I'll add the corresponding parameter from dynamic content. With that complete, I'll close out this panel. The next thing we'll do is add a Teams notification to one of the salon staff members, letting them know that an appointment has been made. For that, I'll add a new action, and this time I'll do a search for Teams, select See More, and then click on Post Message in a chat or channel. For Post As, I'll leave it as Flowbot. Post In, I'll select Chats with Flowbot. Then we'll be able to configure the message details, starting with the recipient. Then I'll paste in the main message, and to that, I'll add dynamic content from the user information to include in the message as well. With that done, I'll close out the pane. Rename the flow to Add New Salon Appointment, and then select Publish. Once published, close the Power Automate tab to return to Copilot Studio. On the Save and Refresh tab, select Done to load in your new cloud flow. Then reselect Call an Action, and your new cloud flow should now be available for you to select. Now that the action is in the topic, I need to configure the parameters using the variables of this topic. So all I have to do is select the arrow and then select the corresponding variable. I'll do the same with email. But with service, it's a bit different because if I simply select service as is, I get a binding incorrect error. That's because service, the topic variable, is a choice, but service, the Cloudflow parameter, is a string. Luckily, we can write PowerFX formulas in topics to perform certain functions like conversions. So in the bar, I'll type text and then I'll pass topic.service. This PowerFX function will convert the choice value into a string. Then I'll select insert. We can carry on to do hairstyle and appointment date and time. With that configured, let's test the topic. But before that, I'll adjust this message to say your appointment has been created. Now we can test. Send the trigger phrase and then answer all questions as normal. And when you get to the part of the topic where it runs the action, you'll be asked to configure user authentication, which was explained by Daniel in a previous episode. In this topic, the connection is our Cloudflow. And if you select action, you'll see that it's requested access to the Microsoft Teams action within our flow. So let's connect and submit. Then return to the test panel and select retry. And we should then see the final confirmation and summary message. In Teams, we'll see that there is a new message letting us know about the new appointment. And if we switch over to Dataverse, we should also see the new record has now been added. And that's it. However, this Cloudflow can be developed further to add things like adding an approval before the Dataverse record is created, or adding an Outlook action to send an email confirmation to the user. You can do so many things with so many services, making your topics as comprehensive as possible. I look forward to seeing what you build. Thanks so much for watching, and don't forget to subscribe to the Microsoft Power Platform YouTube channel to receive a notification of the next episode of our Building with Copilot Studio series.